Welcome to Vine. How are you? We are in the Lion's Gate energy. Welcome to Golden Mission 144, where we keep track of the divine feminine and divine masculine who are ascending on a rapid rate here on earth. What does that look like? It means that they heal. What does that look like? It means that they grow. What does that look like? It means that they develop new blueprints of how to live, and they take leaps and bounds, quantum leaps, exactly, into new experiences when many on the earth only live a few, sometimes one, to the end of their days. Divine feminine, divine masculine live many, many ways. We are going to look into the divine masculine energy today. All right, and I look forward to returning emails this week. So I do like to read them, and I have some packages that I need to pick up from the office mailbox. So wonderful, wonderful. So expect that exchange from me. Let's get into this masculine reading because, guys, I just feel that this is going to be so good. I do. This is going to be good. And we have our new cards, the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards that we're going to use in this reading for Divine Masculine. We start off right here in the first position. So we're going to use the John Holland because I said, okay, I dealt these out and I was led that we're going to do the John Holland. Now, you know I generally clarify with this card. So it's like, no, we're doing our reading with this card today. Which they go perfect with the newbies. So we're going to go all into the visionary of everything and pull what we get. So you see this, you see that hand coming out, the dirt. You can even see the bruising of the battle with that hand coming out of the dirt with this. This is considered the Ace of Swords with the traditional tarot. Coming out of the dirt, holding the sword, almost like, you can see the rest of the body is still buried. Still buried. So that lets you know. And this card says triumphant success. So what I'm getting from this card, you can even see the light and the dark impressions. This is a divine masculine energy starting out, and this is number one for beginning. The divine masculine energy is starting out in a way like, dang. So even though they've been covered, and I'm getting covered in darkness in a lot of different areas, not being able to really see any type of clarity and direction on how to move, that they have literally come out blazing with the sword. It was a long fight because they were kind of shackled down under. And when I say shackled down under, it's like that divine masculine energy in that area was like, I cannot see anything different than what I have going on right now. It's almost like the chatter around them did not matter. They could not perceive anything different. And what I'm getting is, the past readings. So it's kind of like, check out all of those readings for the divine masculine energy that kicked off, that had the July star on them. I'll probably just take the July off of them and put a star because it's still within this energy. And it was so many of them, but it was so much about the emotion center of the divine masculine energy, the emotion center being opened and turned on. Well, being at that state, the divine masculine energy is recognizing like, dang, now that that emotion center is turned on, they've now fought to connect, fought to get to where they were kind of feeling something that felt good. It's like when it was off, they didn't realize that they were under the ground buried. It's like, look, they had no idea they were down here buried up under this mess of life. But as that emotional center has been turned on for the masculine energy, they've had to fight to come out to something that feels good. And it's amazing, guys, because you think about this in the way of when something is going on in your life and it's like you don't even, where it's just kind of like really, really bad or whatnot, but you're checked out of it, you don't really know. But then when you kind of check into it, you're like, oh my God, this is horrible. This is unbearable. I cannot believe that I've been doing this for all these years. You know, it's that right at that ascension point. Right at when you get ready to take off into something new. When you're living that experience, you have no idea how bad that experience is for a very long time. And what I have right now is that the masculine energy is like, oh my God, I've been living like this. So they have that hand up like with the sword, like I am getting out of this. I have made sure, notion, plan, confirmation, and certainty that I am getting out of this. I got my hand out. It is already going down. You hear me? Because I am seeking the freedom, seeking feeling good. I am triumphant in knowing that once I've busted this one hand out, that I can get out of this. So basically, this card is saying that the divine masculine energy actually sees a way out of their situation. They know that they can get out of their situations, and they know that they can have things that they want that they couldn't see before. And they couldn't see it because they were buried up under and they didn't even know they were missing. They were like, I didn't even know these things were missing. And now that I know these things are missing, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. So then we come in right here, which is very beautiful because it goes in kind of that recognition and reward, but it's that humbling because you kind of see down here, it's like that humbling surrendering of the masculine energy. Head down, it's just like, man, gratitude. So much gratitude because it's like, shoot, I was so blocked up in this. I was literally buried up under, and now it's like, oh my goodness, I see a way out. I see a way out of this situation, and completely humble in this. But not only that's not even just it. You see this light that is shining on the masculine energy that is coming through on this card? And look at that, and you see the reward going around the neck. This is a medal. So you see the divine masculine energy bursting out of the ground with a sword, and now you see head bent over with a medal. Understand the workings that have went into this level of transition. This is some mental, internal, emotional stuff that the masculine energy is having to transmute here on earth, especially when you look on the big scale of the masculine energy of this planet. The divine masculines are who are transforming, transmuting the masculine energy on this planet. Look at the leading masculine energy right now that we have on this that's here in the United States in positionings. And then that will let you know the level of energy that the divine masculine energy is transmuting here on the planet. This is so beautiful because it's like, oh shoot, transmutation has began for the masculine energy, and it has been done by the divine masculine. Even though this is the arm up, meaning that we're in the beginning of this thing, still there, this is such a triumphant reward because of the state of the masculine energy that we had going on. This is beautiful for those of you who are dominant divine masculines, and those of you feminine who we all know have masculine energy within us. We have all trailblazed the masculine energy to get to this point, which is beautiful. The light being shined on, bending over, but this is also that recognition and reward means that people are seeing the divine masculines now in a different light. What that means is that people are seeing the divine masculines, divinity. You see that light coming up? So it's not a full clothing, but it is right up there, right within the crown chakra area. And it's very important because the divine masculine is now saying things. I'm getting like they're saying things and they're having a different view about things. And people are like, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, man, I think you're right. And those of you who are wearing the feminine bodysuit and you are a dominant masculine, it is the same thing. It's like, dang, she knows her stuff. And people are resonating with the things that the masculine energy is starting to say and starting to do. They are starting to be respected in ways that they were not respected before. People are starting to see them, and I'm getting subtle ways wisdom. And they're checking them out, you know, it literally like masculine on the move. It's like, arm out towards the light. And just that little bit is such a shift that is recognition and reward that is happening with the divine masculine energy. It's like, whoa, all right, I see this. And look at what comes out. The light. And it's so beautiful that this is coming out with the John Holland, because one of the ways to interpret this is that fully looking up. And it's kind of what I was saying, that it's not only in that position of recognition and reward and that gratitude that the masculine energy is having for seeing their way out of situations. I'm getting that the masculine energy was like, I couldn't see my way out of anything. Look, there's that music going up in the octane, because it is the truth. They were like, I couldn't see my way out of it. I heard and I saw that this was not right for me. I'm getting that the masculine energy, I'm getting actually sitting in a room, seeing stuff happening that is totally not okay, having it within themselves, even sharing a little bit of chatter with other people, but going on with life the next day like they did not actually see all of that stuff that they were seeing. They were so kind of buried under. It's like, I'm seeing this off stuff, but then going on and living in it. So they are in that place of just true gratitude for being able to know that the things that I were feeling that was off, I'm getting really were off. The things that I were feeling were off, really were off. And now they have a justification for making the changes that they couldn't make before. They couldn't make those changes before, and now they have such a justification. It's like they had it on the emotional level of that knowing, and now we've moved to the place where it's like, man, it's a combination of that mental and that emotional that is happening with the divine masculine energy, that they're like, I done put 2 and 2 together. There is nothing wrong with me. I am not crazy. I am not just some selfish person who is out here doing things and saying that I'm unhappy and getting ready to be reckless. No, I am moving to my happiness intentionally. Intentionally is what I'm getting for the masculine energy. And it's like the light is fully on. They have clarity. They have clarity on, I'm getting who is supposed to be in their life, where they're supposed to be going, and what just is not working. It's like the light is completely on. It's like, I see it all. I see it all, and I know it. I see it and I know it. I see and I know it. That is so amazing. That is so amazing. Wow, 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 wow. And let me tell you, I had pulled this card because I was like, well, what is the emotional state? Oh, I'm getting, okay, wait, we're going to hold off on that. We're going to go to the new deck of cards. And the new deck of cards being the angels and the ancestors. And what I'm getting from this is that going with the new deck of cards is that the first one that comes up, and these are also have the ancestors in it. So it's going into the white witch and kind of what was the knowing of that. When it comes to now, we're pretty modern then, we're saying with divine masculine and divine feminine. But back in the days when people had any type of intuitive knowing and gifting outside of what was in the physical world, people were very accustomed to talking about what was in the spiritual world, but the human being was not able to align with it, interact with it, or things of that sort. So being a divine feminine and divine masculine, you literally live with the embodiment of the divine within. And, you know, kind of moving forward where it became acceptable was the wide range teachings, a lot of Jesus, which is why you'll hear a lot about Christ consciousness. So it's like, whoa, it became acceptable for Jesus to embody God in human form and utilize their soul divinity and walk in this earth plane planet. So it became a very okay thing through the popularity of Jesus. And now you have all these divine feminine and divine masculine. But historically to it all, you know, a lot of times, and even in combination at the same time as those teachings, things were identified with all types of different names, and many of us and many people go by those names even still to this day. So this one being White Witch, be the light. So I have the instruction to just kind of read the message because these are the new cards from just the first one. And this was it: take the higher road and choose the light. Remove yourself from lower energy experiences. Is that not what the divine masculine energy is doing right now? They're literally pulling themselves out from lower level energies. And I like these cards because they have an extended message within them. And writing is my first love, you guys. So if you are a soulful writer, then you guys know that writing is a downloaded message from the divine. So the extended message here is no matter what is happening to you or around you, you have a choice. Choose not to be pulled into dramas, bickering, or energies that are just going to limit your joy. If you are surrounded by people who are hostile towards you or someone else, or you are in a negative situation, perhaps in your workplace, you are being invited to be the light. You are an incredible person who can really bring light. So how can you change the energy? How can you redirect the conversation to love? How can you protect yourself? How can you help the person that is being picked on? Or are you the one who is guilty of causing a drama? You will know the answers. Know also that you are being encouraged to shine the light. You were born to share. I love that for the masculine energy because that goes right into where we are here with the clarity of everything, and they have the higher perspective, lighter view, and people are recognizing it, wanting to hear it, wanting more. But the thing that I'm getting with the masculine energy is that those who are divine masculine have always known that people were drawn to them. They were drawn to them for their light. It's just that their light had been buried up under the use of so many others. It's almost like rooted down underneath, but then being outsourced to whoever. But now they're coming up out of the trenches of that to begin to be recognized for their own daggum light is what I'm getting. It's like, let me utilize my own daggum light is what I have. And they're like, yep, let me blow this all the way up. Let me blow this all the way up. And then you have this going on and it says, yes, be the light, divine masculine energy, be the light. And I love how towards the end, the questioning came in to allow an illustration of what it means to be the light. It's not always being the person who is transitioning to love. Maybe it's removing yourself from that and not being that person who causes this. Or is it making sure that you're taken care of in a situation? Or is it making sure you choose a situation that doesn't cause discord for others? There are various ways in showing up to be the light and the higher view of a circumstance or situation. But the divine masculine energy is saying, I'm no longer going to be the scapegoat of the one who isn't right, the one who needs help, the one who doesn't know, the one who has to be treated like less, because they're like, look, no, I am above. I am not beneath. I'm coming up. I am above. I am not beneath. I am coming up. They're not playing that game anymore. This is so interesting because then we come in right here, which is trader, exchange energy to create abundance. What I love about this card that is coming through so strongly, so strongly, one, you see the location of the hand of the divine masculine representation that is on this card. But, and then the colorations of the pillow coming in throughout with the rainbow bridging. So it's almost like what I'm getting right here is like, be the light and then begin to exchange that energy with people. This is how you have your connections. This is who you align to. You align to those light connections to exchange that energy and to create abundance with them. So I'm really getting that the divine masculine energy is coming up and saying, hey, I'm really not what you think I am. I really know a whole lot more. And game over on that. And I'm getting that in doing so, they're coming to a position where it's like, I am no longer going to be buried under and not utilize my energy. I'm not going to be disconnected from my emotional center and then someone else just run my body, or I just be guided throughout life to do this or that. That they are aligned to their emotional center, they are knowing what they want, and then they are utilizing their vessel to now move towards the things that they desire in life. It's like, oh, well, let me wake my vessel up from the ground and use it for my own uses now. So it's not about other people using it. So I am going to now exchange my energy. I'm not going to allow you to filter and utilize and use my energy while I stay dormant. I'm going to now exchange my energy, which means that I get something back. The divine masculine energy says, I'm going to get something back. It's an exchange. It's an exchange of energy. So we might do something different, but I will leave these connections not feeling depleted, buried up under the ground, done, meaning that you just ration out my energy source, whether it be, I'm getting financial is the lower level of it, but that's one of the physical versions of things that would happen. But not only that, I'm getting body, the uses of the masculine body, just wearing the masculine body out to the grave and just buried up under stuff. It's like, no, look at this, look at this masculine up, fine, doing their thing, hand over heart, healthy. It's like, no, I'm going to exchange my energy now. My body is not going to be used like a work mule. You know, I'm not going to be also used for the means of creating financial empire for another person. I am for purposes. I am for purposes. So I'm going to exchange energy now because I need some. I need some. I'm not going to be down here with the dead. I am awake. So I need some energy so I can do what I need to do here. This is so beautiful because then we come in with the snake, which is shedding the old skin. Shedding the whole skin, which means that if you're going to begin exchanging your energy, then that means for the divine masculine energy that they are no longer going to be able to have those connections with people who don't believe that they should hold energy or hold their power. There are some connections that they had that would rather them be in that emasculated state, not having any type of power, strength, wisdom that they're able to execute on a front scale. So they're having to shed all of that stuff is coming up next with these ancestral cards, because it's like now that they've determined that I am going to be the highest version of myself, I will be the divine that I am, I will be the divine masculine. They're also recognizing that the world around them doesn't necessarily favor that. So they're having to shed that old skin, which is their old ways, and a lot of the old people connections that do not allow them to exchange but want to take, that don't allow reciprocal but want to take, that don't want to even share within being uplifted. They want to uplift and the divine masculine be here. They're recognizing that those aren't conducive to the life that they have now started to live. There is that music going in octane, so I think we hit it. Which I did pull right here a Lenormand because I wanted to know, well, what is the mental space that was surrounding this? And it's like, look at that. You see the fish standing out from the pack. That the divine masculine energy can see who's who now. So they know who they can exchange energy with, and they know who just takes their stuff. They know who they can exchange energy with, and they know who just takes. That's completely clear to them, because as they branch into being the light, they can also see clearly. They get that clarity. And then I had in the emotional space, well, how is the masculine energy doing emotionally surrounding all of this? Is kind of a summary. And then we get an emotional space. We do get the Tower, but within the Jane Wallace cards, you see the two people falling completely out of that tower. So this also is a symbolization to those of you who have any of those third-party structures together. But all that's done on an emotional level, even if it's not done on a physical level, it is completely done. I'm getting there's not going to be a recuperation there, because we do have moving up out of that totally with this. But also, and there's some that things have already been separated on a physical level, but there was still a tie on an emotional level. And legalization level, that all of that is just coming. So with both of them, it's kind of like falling out. But the message that comes with this Jane Wallace card is, I surrender and know how to go forward. So what I'm getting is that even though the divine masculine energy is going through this Tower moment on an emotional level, they're surrendering to it. Basically what I'm getting is, with you guys masculines, is that it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good having to transition your life in a way that you never planned to do, to shed kind of these old things that no longer work for you. But you have gotten to the place that you know that there is no other option, because you cannot live under, you can't live underground, you can't live in that darkness anymore. That you have gotten to the point where you have to come out, and you've touched within that light. And you also, I'm getting that you know what it feels like for people to respect you, and that is a feeling that you do not want to necessarily lose. Is coming in strongly when people are respecting and admiring you, and you can tell the difference between that and when you're being buttered up. I'm getting buttered up for uses when you're being buttered up for uses. So you know the difference between respect and admiration and being buttered up for uses. And you're also knowing the difference between who supports you and who is just gassing you up to seem as if they are supporting you. The divine masculine energy sees clearly the difference. And even though they are in a tower moment, when it comes to it all, they have surrendered and they are ready to move forward. So that's wonderful. So what that tells me is that emotionally you're feeling a lot. So sending a love to the masculine energy, because you are emotionally feeling the weight of really digging yourself out of any type of situations that hold darkness and are preventing you from being the divine masculine that you are. So wonderful. The golden mission. The golden mission is union, union within self, then union with others. If you guys need any support, there's a full course down below. Lift him and her up. I think it has about 15 or 16 units or so with it. Videos. It has interactive. You have commentary from different areas. You have video, audio, written material. You have a whole bunch of stuff to keep you interested, but also to give you what you need. The healing components are in there. You guys do know I am a licensed counselor, and I am also an international metaphysical coach. And of course, you know, here's the intuitive piece, but definitely that. So reach out and get the support you might need in the description. I also have a new channel in which there are videos that have already landed in the introduction, and then there's going to be a steady rotation that will be coming in right within the Lionsgate energy moving out. So wonderful. I'll say it again if I hadn't already said it. The golden mission is union. Union within self, then union with others. See you soon.